Remember in elementary school when math just meant 2x plus 1 equals 11? What did we call that? Oh right, an equation. Some even had fancy names like Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma. And those ones we generally called formulas. But now in Glowy Screen Central, those little rules have gotten a new name. Algorithms. And according to the movies, they are out to kill us all. Hi, my name is Emily, and this is Blink Pop Shift. If you haven't seen Captain America's Winter Soldier, don't worry. Even though I totally disagree with the entire premise of spoilers, this will be a spoiler-free zone. All I'm gonna say about the movie is there is a scary, scary algorithm, and of course it's Captain America's job to save us all. Since when do our superheroes spend their time fighting computer algorithms as opposed to crazed criminals or super baddies or alien invasion? Well, since the rise of computer control over the stock market, over the buying of ad space on websites milliseconds before they load, over who you get matched up with on your favorite online dating site, and since Edward Snowden sprung a leak in the NSA's data collection scheme. Big Brother's watching, but it's not just human eyes watching everything you do. Nowadays, the things that we interact with most, the things that we use to work and play and plan, all track what we say, where, and to whom. All. Trust me, if they want to see your bank data or your wedding photos or your expertly curated porn collection, they will. Other than cutting the digital cord or a million user march on Washington, there's not much we can do about it. For the moment, who gets snooped and who ignored is largely dependent on keywords. What words earn you a Washington interweb creeper? Along with words you'd expect, like dirty bomb and cyber attack, the NSA also tracks mundane words like hell, exercise, pop, gas, infection, airport, and even vaccine. Does that mean all those vaccine deniers are constantly getting flagged by the US government as threats? Because that would be hilarious. I'm a terrible person. But keywords are just the collectionist present. Big data and its friends, the algorithms, are the analyzed future. Now, when I say everything digital is accessible, I do mean everything. But the information that we're all so quick to protect, bank statements, medical records, text, phone log, emails, Facebook posts you wrote but never posted, all that stuff that Captain America's movie algorithm decided was reliable enough to kill over, that kind of data might not be so useful in our algorithmic decision-making future. Now look, I'm not here to stomp all over Hollywood's long-held freedom to make up the most ridiculous crap to shovel into their plots. I like sci-fi movies. I want Sharknado to exist. I'm totally willing to suspend my disbelief, but if they're gonna spew computer gobbledygook, I'm gonna call them on it. It's like the circle of life. The circle of life. Since no system currently in operation has anywhere near the precognitive ability of the movie algorithm, instead let's look at how real predictive statistical analysis is sparking a major evolution in how we are hired, fired, promoted, and generally assessed throughout our lives. Not based on IQ scores or SAT tests or what school you went to, but how you play. Yep. Play. There's a lot more data out there than the stuff that you are rabid to protect. Data is also stuff that you don't usually think of as important. Like in a shooter, which oncoming enemy do you take down first? What order do you serve the customers in a restaurant sim? There's the track that your mouse takes from objective to objective, and how long you hover before a click, and what draws your eye, everything. But making tests with this kind of data means there's not really a right answer. No high score or bonus for finishing the level faster, just data about how you played and made decisions. And while this idea has been around for a little while, people are just now launching systems that might actually be able to leverage this data for the public good. Play can help you decide who to invest in and help people find jobs in which they have a high likelihood of success and happiness and achievement without being biased by race, gender, age, height, beauty, sexual orientation, disability, accent, and education, etc., etc., etc. Cause our current system sucks at this. There is a mountain of scholarly data that shows that the way that we currently assess professional potential is rife with snap judgments. How competent people perceive you has much more to do with your age, height, and beauty than it does to do with your work ethic. So since we're biased, instead of building a top-down model of what your individual brain thinks a job candidate should be great at, instead have them play a game and record everything they do down to every last blink and hesitation, then compare their performance to people who have succeeded in the position that you're hiring for. And bonus, the stats aren't just there to identify individuals' potential, but even to match workers and supervisors who are likely to perform well together based on their data signatures. And as more and more people in more and more fields reveal themselves through analyzed play, we will create huge statistical models to help compare us against each other with the goal of revealing hidden talents and, like the best job counselor ever, which jobs might suit you and which companies could use your skills. And, boink, 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 boink. And much like our addiction to online IQ and personality tests, these data-centric algorithms will not only reveal our strengths and weaknesses to others, but to ourselves. Perceptive algorithms will soon learn way more about you than just your work potential. They could also act as life coaches, helping us recognize our bad habits and change our pattern. Take me, for example. Sure, I'm creative and hardworking, good at solving problems, but I also overeat when I'm bored, I'm terrible at sticking to a schedule, and tend to fall into dissatisfied funks where nothing I do is good enough. It might be nice to have a stats buddy on board my life that helps me seize my peaks and valleys, the trends and habits and patterns that rule my life, and if I so desire, help me change them. You want me to change my behavior based on the advice of a bossy calculator? Yes! Because in order to coexist and fully utilize a world cataloged and analyzed and participated in by algorithms, we have to let go of the idea that we are clear-eyed, unbiased, rational actors. That we know best. That we can see all and know all no matter the subject or scale. How much do I honestly understand about what makes me more or less effective? I can't even say for certain how long I've been gathering information for this video. Never mind know which parts of the pattern I should reinforce and which I should cut. This is prime territory for an algorithm, which could learn how I learn and work, so that I don't have to waste brain space on the management of my time, and instead just get to do what my goopy human brain is so good at. Doing creative work and solving problems. Problems? There's plenty. And it's important to think about them early and often as we head down this road. What if the games have hidden flaws that bias the results against people who have never played video games? Or aren't neurotypical? Hurdles? Yes. But the benefits, especially to those of us who didn't happen into the white male category, which current culture is so unequivocally biased toward, could be huge. This kind of blind, correlative, no high score gaming might just be the thing that finally breaks the stronghold on privilege and power. Now, fear of algorithms is real and understandable. The lasting specter of government intrusion and corporate collection have forever burst the bubble of implicit trust in on-screen life. But if you're someone who's afraid of this future, just look to the past. The attempt to quantify and improve ourselves is nothing new. But even so, to some, the idea that an algorithm will track your behavior at the dinner table as well as in video games and then compare your behavior to millions of other people just feels icky. We fear being stripped of our individuality, leaving only the cold comparison of data. But to me, recorded and analyzed are not the same as judged. Algorithms reveal large-scale patterns, but no algorithm can work alone. And computers getting to know us is scary, when the results are seen as only useful for those in power who wish to control our lives. But we do not have to sacrifice freedom for data. But as we see in the current net neutrality fight, without public vigilance, there is the potential for grievous abuse. I think we're not the best at knowing ourselves. But maybe, and I know this might be my insatiably hopeful optimism talking, but maybe algorithms can show us who we really are. But what do you think? Will the rise of the algorithms mean the death of free will, or can we peacefully coexist in a data-rich world? Send me your thoughts on Tumblr or Twitter or in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching and get curious.
Is the show really over?
Words that I would know if I had put them in my brain holes. Instead, have them play a game and record everything they do down to those people. There are trucks all the time! How much is that bird in the window? That's like the third cement truck. Come on, guys.